Long ago, in a land untouched by war, stood a peaceful kingdom blessed by a secret hidden deep beneath its soil. No one knew that a long time ago a fallen star had landed there. They only knew the apples were sweeter, the seasons kinder, the skies always calm. But one person, a young girl named Princess Shine, was not like the others. At just 10 years old, she began to see strange patterns in the sky, sometimes on people's heads. And she heard whispers, a voice that didn't sound like her own. That's a sign. Rain will come, but not now. Be careful. He's hiding something. Everyone said she was cursed. Even Shine started to believe it. Years passed, the kingdom began to wither. The blessings faded. People grew afraid of Shine's warnings. Even her own father, the king, kept her hidden away. Her only friend was Marcus, a kind boy with a peaceful pattern on his head. He never feared her gift, but Shine feared herself. Until one night everything changed. A storm broke out in the middle of a dry season. Shine looked to the sky and saw it. A hook of stars glowing above the horizon. She followed it. She ran with her lamp and her cloak into the night, and then the ground lit up beneath her feet. Stars rose from the earth and lifted her into the air. She was no longer just a girl. She was the missing piece of the fallen star. The light had returned. Back at the palace, darkness spread. Bandits attacked. Fear ruled the halls. But Shine arrived, glowing. Step aside, I won't repeat myself. Surrender or face the light. They laughed until she opened her arms. A wave of light surged through the palace. It touched no one except the ones with darkness in their hearts. The bandits floated into the air, screaming, and vanished into the sky. Silence. Everyone stared at Shine. The king stood up and whispered, "She is the fallen star." Shine stepped forward. I am not cursed. I see the patterns because I am meant to. I ran from my gift and darkness followed, but not anymore. The kingdom listened. They believed. From that day on, Princess Shine was no longer feared. She became their protector, their seer, their star. Once upon a time, deep in a forest, nestled between whispering willows and sparkling streams, lived a young woodcutter named Thomas. Life was simple. Days were filled with chopping wood and evenings with cozy meals beside the fire. But Thomas yearned for more. He wanted to explore the world beyond the trees. So one day, armed with his trusty axe and a basket of bread, he set off on an adventure. As the sun climbed higher, the forest grew darker. The playful birdsong was replaced by an eerie silence, and the friendly squirrels seemed to mock him with their taunts from the branches. Just when Thomas felt like giving up, he saw it, a tiny cottage made of twigs and leaves. Smoke curled from its chimney, promising warmth and company. As he approached, he heard the most beautiful singing. He couldn't resist. He peeked through a window and saw the most enchanting sight, a tiny woman stirring a bubbling cauldron while humming a magical tune. Taking a deep breath, Thomas knocked on the door. The woman stopped stirring, her back still to him. "Who's there?" she asked in a voice like rustling leaves. "It's just me, a traveler," Thomas replied. The woman slowly turned around, revealing a face both beautiful and terrifying. Her eyes shone with an otherworldly light, and her skin was the color of moss. "What do you want?" she asked, her voice now cold as winter. "I was hoping for some food and maybe shelter for the night," Thomas stammered, suddenly feeling very small in her presence. The woman studied him for a moment, then beckoned for him to enter. Inside, the cottage was even more enchanting, filled with glowing mushrooms and strange plants. But there was also something unsettling about the place, as if it held secrets best left undisturbed. The woman, who introduced herself as Agnes, offered Thomas food and a place by the fire. He ate in silence, stealing glances at Agnes, who seemed lost in thought. As the night deepened, Thomas couldn't help but ask about the strange cottage and its mysterious inhabitant. Agnes sighed. "This is no ordinary place," she said, her voice barely a whisper, "and I am no ordinary woman. I am a forest witch, guardian of these woods. I have lived here for centuries, watching over the balance of nature." Thomas was both fascinated and frightened. He had heard tales of witches, but never imagined they were real. Suddenly, Agnes stood up, her eyes blazing with anger. "Why are you here?" she demanded. I just wanted to see the world," Thomas stammered. Agnes shook her head. "You should not have come here, human. This is not your world to see." She raised her hands, and for a moment, Thomas felt a surge of magic around him. Then she lowered her hands, and the magic faded. Agnes took a deep breath. "You have trespassed on sacred ground, but I will not harm you. However, you must leave now and never speak of what you have seen here." Thomas, still shaken by the experience, nodded quickly and hurried out of the cottage. As he walked back into the forest, he couldn't help but look over his shoulder at the cottage, wondering about the mysterious witch and the secrets she held. From that day on, Thomas never forgot his encounter with Agnes. He continued his life as a woodcutter, but now he saw the forest with new eyes. He could hear the whispers of the trees and feel the presence of magic all around him. And though he never spoke of Agnes to anyone, he carried the memory of the wise and powerful witch deep in his heart.